And we're live in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Is the only way. He saves. Flat out. He saves. I don't say I'm not your master, not your savior, but I am his angel. And I come to you to heal you. It's time to change by doing it or die in regret and all that. These people are going to be dead. They're going to die. Thousands of people marked for death because they don't want to listen. You want to go in these churches that's killing you? They're deceiving you. They're leading you astray. Get away from them. This is why I love my brother Seven and Hog Mob Crew and many others. Because they're not afraid to tell the truth for what it is. Because life is not censored. When you go through stuff, you feel stuff, you're feeling that. It's not censored. Well, do you feel like you really want to feel this? We can make this PG for you. No, matter of fact, just for you, we're gonna make this rated G. Yes, because I understand where you're coming from, and I do not want you to feel that at all. We're gonna make this rated G just for you.
How you doing, Ghosty?
It don't work like that. Life don't work like that, man. Not at all. It's never worked like that. You know? So just because they don't want to offend things that God hates. He hates what he hates. You know, he loves what he loves. In scripture he says, you know, I love them that love me. If you love a lie, you know, like, come on now. A liar don't love himself. He loves his creation, you know. But when you're no longer his creation, all that's left for you is destruction and elimination.
Ghosty service, and God. No. We're going to do about to get freaking weird. As if I was weird enough already, though, right? One hour of deep, relaxing horror music. Yeah, right. As if horror is just so deeply relaxing. These guys. Anyways. This is part 2 of vampire hunting in the middle of London's nowhere. In that, John, cue the lights, please. Cue the lights, please. Is anybody not hearing what I have to say? Cue the lights. Cue the... You get to pick which one's going to be on and which one's going to be off yet? Yeah, I'm talking to you. You know what? Thank you. Just thank you. Hopefully we can get this other light going in the midst of this call and stuff like that. Anyway. Yeah, hallelujah. Are you ready for this? Don't know how you guys are gonna be feeling. Welcome. This is a ghosted service. It didn't mean to make you nervous. How can I do you for? You know, this is one of those times where vampire hunting just doesn't seem so inviting right about now. You know what I mean? Sure, I mean, things get creepy here and there, you know, a little bit. But I'm just saying, this beat by itself is just freaking weird. Dude's breathing pretty heavy. Hello? Who is it?
What is that?
Hello? Is anybody here? Hello? Can anybody hear me? What is that? Bro. What is this? Oh no. Freaking kidding me right now? And this is where shit got even weirder. This is what we call the unholy Halloween. D-Wing style. You know, like D-Wing stop. Knock knock. Who's there? I see you. You know, there's these times where we like to go in these different places. I'm just saying, you know, and this particular time we went in this particular spot. This is literally right after vampire hunting in the middle of London's nowhere. Okay, and I'm all jittery. You see me having my words like, you know, tongue tied and stuff like that in the process of it, just because the fact that we just left here like 5 hours ago. And now you're telling me you want to do this one? Is this what you're saying? That's not funny. That's creepy. No pasta pun intended. Yeah. Screw you guys. I'm out.
Presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Legal sports betting in the palm of your mitten. Time to make it rain.
Congratulations.
15, the Sounds of Saturn. The Cassini spacecraft is an unmanned spacecraft that was sent to the orbit of Saturn. Cassini was sent into orbit.
I don't care. Okay. So we're gonna do this one just a little bit different. Surprise. Them little girls need their butt whooped. So this is where it begins. All right, let's get this show on the road.
George Sanderson, please remain motionless. Prepare for decontamination.
Oh, not the CPA. Clear the contaminated area. This is a 2319 in progress. The area is clear. Coming through. Watch your step. Stand back. Careful. All clear. Situation is 990. Ready for decon.
Hey, thanks, guys. That was a close one.
Okay.
Chilling tales from dark nights.
I think I
Please
followed.
help. Someone close to me may be connected to the disappearance and murder of countless children, most of them refugees or otherwise disadvantaged, all untraceable, all forgettable, and now all dead. He told me about a drug called adrenochrome that could produce a high beyond any other, and unlike those other drugs, there are no ill effects.
Hold up, my nigga. Pause. Adrenal what? To the chrome, is this Google? This is a drug? Check out the COVID.
Quite the contrary.
Covert operations of identity crisis produced through fear and projective, suggestive, subliminal messaging and a narrative of propagating fear porn. Oggers.
There are substantial benefits from consuming it. Greater health, increased vivacity, and a host of other smaller effects. Combine those with an intense sense of euphoria and you have a substantial demand. The issue is this. It is a derivative of the chemicals produced by the human body when it is under intense and measurable fear. My former friend, who confessed his involvement during a fleeting crisis of conscience, insisted this was true and cited a number of dubious-looking studies and fake news sites. But then there were the photos. He didn't allow me to make copies for fear of implicating himself personally, but he'd been to a farm, he called it, in one of the Baltic states. There were photos of countless people, all seemingly under the age of 15. They were naked and chained to tables and walls and floors in a windowless room the size of a football stadium. I couldn't estimate how many there were. As he scrolled through the photographs and I debated killing him, I saw masked men hovering over the victims and torturing them. As they were being tortured, their blood was being drained into containers. Other photos showed the production facilities, enormous rooms that looked like chemistry labs where the blood was filtered and the compounds were extracted. The worst, though, were the mass graves. Men stood around them and laughed as they unloaded truckloads of carcasses into pits. They used pitchforks to gather up anyone who had been left behind. I asked him why he was allowed to take these pictures. He said no one would believe it was happening, and he's been right. Rumors about facilities like this have been around for decades. Journalists have tried to report on it, only to be laughed out of their editors' offices. One journalist, a Swede, came the closest to bringing it into the mainstream. He died, along with his family, in a hideous house fire. Listen to me. The pictures I saw were not faked.
Meaning they killed that nigga and his family. Sabotage, okay? Pizzagate, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, all them, Joe Biden, Obamacare, Hitler, Margaret Sanger, Darwin, like genocide, eugenics, Herod, King Herod, Nimrod, shit like that, Gilgamesh, all that type of stuff. This shit is evil. They do this shit. That's what they do. They call it spirit cooking, adrenochrome. ODD TV goes a little bit deep into that, and you need to watch that with Dr. Whatever the fuck it was, Dr. Sleep. ODD Odd TV. He is freaking dope, and I love the way he explains this. And I'm going to go into a little bit deeper why they call it covert operation adrenochrome in this black dark winter simulation that's going on. Yeah.
They were not staged. They were, without any doubt, real. And here's one more thing. One more.
Gang stalking targeted individuals. I myself, along with my family, have went through this many times. And by the grace of God, we are here. That's why we're talking about this. And we're not going to stop talking about this. Got it? Cool. Because it needs to be done. It needs to be talked about. It needs to be addressed. And it needs to be confronted face to face, head on. Ellen DeGenerate, she's one of those people. All them Hollywood people, oh yeah, them people. Project Blue Book, CIA, MK Mind Control Program, the Space Program, Space Task Force, the Conspire, Psalm 83, okay, just to sum it up. Yes, it's against God's people. Yes, it's against creation. It's set up like that. Project High Jump, Project Blue Beam. Ooh. The Nerdist.
Picture. Believe it if you want, I don't care.
Project Stargate.
I need to get this off my chest. There was an image of adrenochrome users. I don't know what I expected. Well, I guess I do. Strung out, gone, miserable looking addicts with despair and desperation in their eyes.
Fucking vampires, man.
It's what we've all associated with drug users thanks to heroin and crack and whatnot. This was different. The image was of a lavish conference room in a skyscraper. Where? I could not determine. Syringes of the drug were sitting on gilded...
Pretty much adrenalized blood. Okay? That's what adrenochrome is. Blood and marrow, plasma. They terrorize and rape Dr. Sleep. You know what I'm saying? The pedophiles, the top hat guys, wizards, and all that shit. They rape, they torment children in diverse ways that they do, and then they drain them of their blood, and then they drink that shit. Yes, everyone in Hollywood does this. Every one of them freaking nutbags.
Plates on a thick table of polished wood. I recognize the faces sitting around the table. World leaders, entertainers, religious icons, all grinning, all happy, all ready for their injection. Seeing those familiar faces was the initial shock, but it wasn't the final one. On the far side of the table, almost too small to be seen but still unmistakable, was an iconic head of state, a recent one. He was laughing as he reached for his syringe, but there was something unusual about his hand. It wasn't its normal, small, pink self. It was green. It was webbed. It was clawed. It was reptilian.
This shit is weird, man.
Hey there, everybody. Yorkie Savior here. Thank you for watching and listening to the short story, and I invite you to go check out my YouTube channel called Destroying the Illusion. On there, you'll find plenty of great information on a whole host of topics that you can use to increase your consciousness. Take care.
Chilling tales from dark nights.
Destroying the illusion. It's real shit, man. You trust in lies, and fathers have inherited lies. Criminals
This drug crisis.
is not for sale.
As the Korean War ended, the CIA saw a troubling pattern, returning prisoners of war critical of the American way of life.
Now you just sit there quietly and cooperate.
Movies like The Manchurian Candidate stoked fears of a new communist weapon, brainwashing. The CIA wanted to understand more about brainwashing. It had money and it was ready to fund experiments. And that's what led it here to the Allen Memorial Institute.
Allen Memorial Institute, okay? This is CBC News, the National. I don't give a fuck what people talking about. That's not true. These niggas talking about their own mouth with their own documents. Watch what I tell you.
Then one of the most prestigious psychiatric hospitals in Canada, and its director, Dr. Ewan Cameron.
These are the days and hours are the occasion.
Cameron's patients, many of them women with postpartum depression, became guinea pigs in an experiment called depatterning, breaking down the mind with repeated electric shocks and drugs, including massive doses of LSD.
He took my mother away from me.
Allison Steele was 4 when her mother Jean fell into a depression.
And we have pictures of her skiing, horseback riding, always a smile, happy, a person that I didn't know. I never saw my mother this way.
60 years after her mother's treatment, Allison Steele finally has her medical records.
This is where I got to know my mother. What happened to her, the horror that she went through. Pacing the hall this morning, saying, I'm just a prisoner. I feel like Jesus on the cross, can feel the nails in my hands and feet. It's just like being buried alive. Somebody, please do something.
Jean Steele was kept in a drug-induced coma for weeks, her brain repeatedly shocked. Dr. Cameron broke her down, but wasn't able to put her back together.
So I just learned over time to not talk to her because I knew she couldn't. So that made me angry.
In the 90s, the government of Canada, which also funded Cameron's experiments, compensated several dozen patients, but only those who had been completely depatterned, reduced to incontinence, unable to tie shoelaces. Jean Steele wasn't damaged enough, so she and hundreds more received nothing.
These experiments were done without the informed consent of the patients.
Lawyer Alan Stein took up some of the rejected cases. The government's paid a number of settlements since, including $100,000 for Allison Steele. Many of the payments come with non-disclosure agreements.
They're trying to do it quietly.
It's not fair. I mean, I feel blessed that I was able to get this far for my parents. I really do. That's what gives me justice. I'm just grateful to be able to do it, and I just hope that you can hear me up there, because it might bring you peace. It might bring you both peace.
Evan Dyer, CBC News, Knowle, Quebec.
Welcome, everybody. It's great to see a big crowd here. We're excited today to welcome Jesse Ventura to Authors at Google in Santa Monica. Jesse is a former Navy SEAL and professional wrestler, and I have to say I was lucky enough to see him wrestle live back in the day a few times. And I loved it, and I especially used to love watching him as a commentator on television because he was always astute and funny, and he used to say he was the only commentator who told it like it is. And I have to say he's still telling it like it is throughout his career. He has gone on to become a well-known actor and TV personality, governor of Minnesota, visiting fellow at Harvard's Kennedy School of Government, and a best-selling author. His best-selling books include Don't Start the Revolution Without Me and American Conspiracies. He's the host and executive producer of the TV series Conspiracy Theory with Jesse Ventura. And today he's going to be talking about his latest bestseller, 63 Documents the Government Doesn't Want You to Read. So please join me in welcoming Governor Jesse Ventura.
Zombies apart.
Thank you. Great to be here. First, I'd like to state, so you know a little about me. I know, well, beyond what the nice introduction, I'm a throwback. I'm computer illiterate. Not a good thing for you. And I have never owned a cell phone in my life, nor will I ever now. I've made it a life's mission. I think that if I survive maybe another 20 years on this planet, I can put it on my gravestone and I'll be the only one who will be able to do that. I've already instructed my wife, if I go first, I want he never owned a cell phone put on it because, and so I'm kind of a dinosaur, I guess, but I enjoy it because I'll tell a funny story first. When I bought my dream car back in 2003, a twin turbo X50 Porsche, 450 horsepower, 6-speed that is so fast today I've never floored it. That's how fast it is. When you order a car like that, you have to get a slot number because they're made by hand in Germany. And when you